It's time for, you guessed it, marketing! Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here, and welcome to Dragon Ball Super Reviews. Today we'll be doing the review of episode 104, and this episode is titled, The Ultimate High-Speed Battle Begins. Goku and Hit Join Forces. So this episode was basically, the tournament's going out, and Hit decides to fight a couple of fighters, and then all of a sudden the Pride Troopers continue to fight, and Hit ends up fighting off against Dispo. Now the thing is, Hit normally uses his time skip as a way to, get the better end of his opponents, but for some reason Dispo is able to move so fast that he's able to move faster than the person that can skip time? Okay. Well, the thing is, Dispo is actually moving so fast, he's moving faster than Hit can activate his time skip. And he's doing this based on sound. The muscle movements that Hit is making in his body when he does the time skip are at a certain sound frequency that no regular ears can hear. But because of this, Dispo can lock onto them and then hit before he even does the time skip, thus giving him an advantage. This makes Hit have a disadvantage in the fight to the point where he's about to lose. However, things change when Goku shows up, and Goku's at Super Saiyan God Red. Now, if you all have read the manga of Dragon Ball Super, then yes, Goku and Vegeta both have the ability to transform Super Saiyan God Red at will without the need of a ritual, because Goku, obviously, he did the ritual and then it stayed with his body, and Vegeta learned how to do it naturally. And they know how to turn Super Saiyan God Red at natural will. But here, if Goku had the ability to do that, why didn't he do it in any of his other fights prior? Why didn't he do it in the Universal Survival? Why didn't he do it in the Universe 6 Tournament Saga? Why didn't he do it in Goku Black Saga when he fought against Goku Black? All of this doesn't make any sense, but it all falls down to one major factor: marketing. Super Saiyan God Goku hasn't gotten much screen time in the anime, so showing him off again will definitely sell toys and cards and let him in video games and other various things that just show off how powerful Super Saiyan God is supposed to be, even though Goku has a stronger form, Super Saiyan Blue. Now, in this fight, what Goku does is the exact same tactic that Vegeta used when he fought against Goku Black in the manga, where he trades back and forth between the Super Saiyan Red God so he can conserve energy, and then turns to the Blue God so that he can get faster and powerful right when in the moment in which he attacks. And he does this over and over and over, also so that Dispo can't follow Goku's movements. Goku's moving slower, which means Dispo doesn't have to move as fast, and then suddenly Goku gets super fast when he's about to land attacks, meaning that Dispo can't keep up with that type of body movement. So it's a good strategy. It's just like the fact that they need to copy something that was from the manga, which I know sounds weird, but just now doing it rather than continuously doing it. Plus, the problem also becomes, Wisp explains, Goku went Super Saiyan Red to conserve energy. The problem is Super Saiyan Blue has been used all throughout this tournament at this point. Hell, Goku and Vegeta both turned Super Saiyan Blue in order to use Kamehameha and Final Flash against the Dangerous Trio, which they didn't need to do at all. Super Saiyan 1 would have sufficed. So it just makes no real sense why Goku went Super Saiyan God Red just now, rather than doing it beforehand in the tournament or anything like that. And if you want to make an in-universe reason as to why, my biggest guess is that you can't sense the power of a god, so Goku still can find a way to turn Super Saiyan God and use his God Ki without the Ki being detected. And I don't know. It's one of the things that happened. So he gets the better end of Dispo, but Hit requests that he ends up fighting Dispo because he has a score to settle. So at that point, Hit ends up getting the better hand of Dispo because what Hit does is he does the muscle movements like he's going to use time skip, but he doesn't use time skip. And thus, he gets the better of Dispo and throws Dispo off because he uses a combination of not using time skip but flexing the muscles like he's going to use it, and then using time skip so that it can throw Dispo in for a loop. Dispo doesn't know when Hit is going to use time skip or isn't going to use time skip. He's constantly on edge now. Dispo is about to get wiped out, but then another Pride Trooper, I can't remember his name right now, but he makes the giant exploding landmine threads, ends up making a plan in order to save Dispo, which does save Dispo, but ultimately Goku ends up knocking that fighter off of the ring. Now, actually, Hit ends up knocking that fighter off the ring. So now the Pride Troopers are down to 3 people, but those 3 people are like the 3 people that they only need. Because one of them is Jiren, it's Jiren. And the other one's Toppo, who's strong enough to fight Goku on Super Saiyan Blue. And then the third one's Dispo, which is a fighter who can keep up with Hit, who again is able to fight Goku on Super Saiyan Blue. So, yeah, at that point, Universe 11 pretty much is set. They don't need any more fighters. Even though they're down to 3, they're definitely not at a disadvantage. But other than that, yeah, Goku and Hit worked together in this episode, and the episode basically ends there. I do love the strategies that are being used in each of these fights. I love the fact that they're calculating muscle movements and body patterns and the way people fight and how fast people fight and how the body can adjust to certain things and the art of using confusion to mess with an opponent's head while in fights. Like, I do like that. Hit, Dispo, and Goku, all 3 of them actually show this off, and it's really good to see that these things are being used effectively. Now, Dragon Ball Super using them is completely different than, say, like Dragon Ball Z using them, because Dragon Ball Z is more of a show not tell type of deal, and they would have had more weight on the situation. But I will give Super props for at least, not making this just Dispo's faster than Hit. Goku comes in and saves the day. Now Hit has an advantage. Like, no, they actually did some real life, like they did some real calculating and real in anime reason as to what was going on in between his and Dispo's fight. Marketing, marketing, marketing. As I stated before, Goku has never needed to use Super Saiyan God Red before. Why are they just now showing it off? Now, granted, I love the Super Saiyan God Red transformation. I like it more than Blue. I just love the fact that, like, it's supposed to represent him, like, almost in his normal state. It looks almost like the normal state transformation, but it's bright red and it's supposed to be like a fire deal and it looks cool. Aesthetically, I think it's simplistic, but that simplicity is actually good. Like in most designs, when you're trying to think of a design for a character or something, the best method is always KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And Super Saiyan God Red is the pinnacle of that. Where Super Saiyan Blue just sort of is a recoloring. But Super Saiyan God Red is a recoloring too, but there's little details in Super Saiyan God Red that definitely show it off. So I do like that. I just don't like the fact that they're shoehorning in something that was already used in the manga, but they're using it in a time where they could have used it a long time ago and they just have chosen not to do it until this point. And I feel like they're never going to go back to it again. And that's sad to see that. It's like, they just needed a Goku God Red joining forces with Hit episode to sell cards and toys and things like that, because power scaling's out the window. I've given up trying to figure out the power levels and the strength of characters and how they compare to each other. I've completely given up on that. As far as I'm concerned, Krillin can be as strong as Goku at his max power. Goku can be as strong as Piccolo. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing's sacred in Dragon Ball Super in terms of levels of power. Anybody has the power to fight anybody at this point. Yeah, I've given up on that altogether. But overall, this episode was pretty enjoyable to watch just to see, because it did stick with what was going on. It didn't divert to any other fights for real. It stayed mostly focused on Hit versus Dispo and Goku versus the Thread guy. So that is good to see that it was at least consistent on that end. But the next episode we will be reviewing is episode 105, A Desperate Battle, Master Roshi's Sacrifice. So with that said, I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out.